Good morning and welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. So yesterday I went through my quarterly data for Willoughby. That's the site I went through it with. And so today we're going through it with Clough Road. Sorry, not Clough Road, Beverley. And the reason being is Stormore, Willoughby was all sunshine and roses. Beverley isn't. There's a little bit of a drop off and we want to talk about it. We want to go through it. And yeah, I think it's very, very fascinating to actually go and have a look at this data. Okay, so let me have a look. Right, so in 2000, and by the way, what I'm only going to do is it's going to give me a very, very short episode, this episode, because I'm only going to go into quarter two financials. That's it in terms of true period revenue. The rest of the information, it will be done in our quarterly episode. Yeah, I do a monthly one and a quarterly one. All the rest of the information about quotes, etc., will be in that one. And the reason being is because I haven't got the information. They haven't sent me it. Can you believe it? So I've got all the information, but I don't have this information from them. So I need to chase them up and have a look at it. But do you know what? I'm going to do a quarterly. I've got to do a big quarterly one at the minute. We've done the first phase, the first fix of. So basically, the accountant brings the management accounts to me. I have a look at them. I ask questions, we go through things and we see if there's any problems. And so this is the first one we've done. And at the minute, we're over £125,000 profit for the quarter, net profit. So that's lovely jubbly. That's including all taxes and everything. So if we continue like that, then we're over £500,000 net profit. That's not even EBITDA, that's actually profit and loss, net profit. So be over the moon. But obviously I'll report back to you when we finish it. And the time of recording, it's only the 6th of July. And so we'll go backwards and forwards and we'll have it complete by the end of this week. And so sometime next week, I'll do a quarterly analysis of the overall accounts as well, the management accounts. If you don't do management accounts, I would strongly recommend it. I've never been one for accounts before. Never, ever have I been one for accounts. I usually feel like, do you know what? I'll bring in the money, I'll do the revenue, the accountant can do all the other bits and pieces. That is small business owner thinking. I don't know any big business owner who doesn't have management accounts, who doesn't have a group of his finances. When I was talking to John McGlynn on the phone ages ago, one thing that struck out to me was how on top of his finances John McGlynn is. Literally cash flow, everything. And this was a personal conversation. I was like, holy shit, this guy knows it all. And so if somebody like that who's got many fingers and many pies knows an element of a business for just self-storage, then we've got no excuse. I've only got a few little businesses, but one main business. And so I've got no excuse not to know my financials, not to know my cash balance at all times, not to do cash flow forecasts, not to do management accounts. It is, well, it's irresponsible as a business owner. And I know there'll be loads of people out there listening to this thinking, oh no, I don't want to do it. I don't like it. No, you don't know what I mean. I used to be you. I used to hate it. I didn't want to do it. But you know what? That pushback inside of you isn't the pushback to say I'm wrong. It's a pushback to say that you should be doing it and you know you should be doing it, but you don't want to do it because you don't know how to do it. I am learning all the time with financials, and I've got to report my figures to a group of board members, if you like, a mastermind, 10 people, 10 different business owners, and I've got to go through my financials, everything, my balance sheet, my cash flow forecast, my management accounts, profit and loss, you name it, I've got to go through it and I've got to explain it, I've got to know it as well. And I think it's so beneficial, so beneficial. I actually can't go to this quarter's meeting, but I'm still going to do the exercise because I think it's so important. And so please, if you're not doing it, I would strongly recommend you starting doing it. I know a couple of self-storage owners have started to use my accountant as well. Absolutely top drawer is Ian. If anybody wants his contact details and want to be put in contact, I don't get any pushback, by the way, any kickback from this. I just think that he's brilliant and it's so simple, so easy. And you know what? I do less work now with Ian than I did do before because he automates the whole process. So he asks me for very, very little. So it's easy. And his team does the rest and I love it. So if anybody wants to know any more, either LinkedIn me, Dean Booty, or deanbooty@icloud.com, and I can set up an introductory email with you guys. Okay, so let's have a look at as I've just been lecturing you all about financials. Right, so turnover for quarter two was £35,704 at Beverley. Now, my wife's ringing me. If you know if you've been listening to this podcast a lot, Beverley's a very, very small site, only 87 or 89. We've got officially got 89, but I think 2 have moved into 1 units. So not a massive place, but the net profit is over £100,000 every single year. So it's a really lovely site, lovely, beautiful site. There's not ever much movement. However, for first-time listeners, my landlord tried to kick me out of my lease, didn't want to renew it, and wanted to start up on his own. Now he's started up on his own, and he's like 40% cheaper than me, or 30% cheaper than me, depending on what units. And he's full. We're not full, we're 80%, but I can guarantee you, because of our revenue management, because our understanding of self-storage, we will still take more money than them, and our net profit will be greater. Don't forget, just because you're full, it doesn't mean you're correctly managing your site. I used to believe that, but it's completely not the case. So yes, our trajectory at the minute, our percentage full, we never normally go below 90%. And at the minute, we're just above 80%. And that is because the pressure has been put on us by the new site. We expect it, but you know what? We don't want to drop our prices. We aren't dropping our prices because we believe in our core product. When he's full, there's only us to go to. And so we've still got units. And at the end of the day, we are still taking more money, nearly more money than we ever have done before. So we took £35,704. The year before, Q2 2021, don't forget this was the height of the COVID, we took 37,358. So it was a decrease of £1,654. However, to put it into context, in Q2 2020 and Q2 2019, we only took 31,500 in them quarters. And so we're taking £4,000 more in Q2 2022 than we was in Q2 2019 and 2020. So ultimately, yes, it's dipped a little bit from last year, but not too much at all. The one problem that we've got is that the trajectory has started to dip now. So in Q1 last year, in Q1 2022, it was our best ever quarter. We took £38,096.26. That was £2,657 up from the year before, and it was £737 up from the previous quarter. So that was our best, second best quarter. Our best ever quarter was Q4 2041, Q4. There's been a mistake here. So it said that we took more on. See this. So Q4 2021, it said that we took £41,214.69. However, in Q1 2022, we took 38,000, and on my sheet here it says that we took more in Q1 than Q2, but it's clearly not the case. So we found a little bit of an error there, but that's okay. So in fact, well, it's not okay, but you know what I mean. It's not a massive deal. So in Q1 2022, we have taken £38,096. So as you can see, there is a dip off. There is a definite dip of around about £2,392.11, round about, give or take. And so we've just got to be careful because it's our second quarter in a row that we've had a dip. And I don't want to, there's no alarm bells ringing, there's no worry, there's no, there's no anything. At the minute in July, we're 250 square foot up for Beverley, so really, really good. But it's something to be mindful of, because 2 dips in a quarter, in two consecutive quarters, it's something that we're going mindful of. Yes, it's up and down with COVID, etc. However, it's something that we just need to keep an eye on, because we want to make sure that this quarter is an improvement from last quarter. So we need to see an improvement in Q3 than we did in Q2. And I'm absolutely sure we will do, but we just need to have meetings and keep a closer eye on it. When something like this is starting to happen, 2 dips for 2 consecutive quarters, then I just want to keep an eye on it. I just want to keep my eye out, make sure that we're not missing anything, that we're not taking our eyes off the prize. Because ultimately, like I said to the guys in the meeting the other day, we've got 3 live sites in a minute. We've got a 4th one coming up. I've got a meeting this next week for a potential new site next year. A new build, which would be fantastic in a great location. I'm not telling anybody about it because people will kill for this site, literally kill. So like I said, Stormore has to be our holy grail because it cash flows that much money. We're taking 75,000, we're taking 900 grand a year there. And so that one is our holy grail. That's the one that lays our golden eggs. So if we look after that one, then every other site is okay. It's almost irrelevant what other sites are going, almost. But if Stormore starts dipping, then we've got to make sure we're all over that. We're shit hot with Stormore Willoughby. And then it's Clough Road, because Clough Road is going to be the next biggest cash cow. It's going to make about 250 grand. Willoughby is going to make about 450,000 pound a year, and Beverley obviously makes 100,000 pound a year. So Beverley, yes, when it starts dipping, we've got to turn our attention to it. But ultimately, number one has to be Stormore. And if Stormore's okay, we're okay. Clough Road comes next. And Beverley now, we've just heightened our little focus a little bit up on our priority list, because we've had 2 dips in the takings in the last 2 quarters. However, we've had our best ever quarter in terms of profit and loss for the company. So that is still fantastic. But it's great. It's great because now we've got more sites. It's like juggling balls. And so all of a sudden I can focus on this one. Okay, we need to make sure we maximize our revenues, our insurance, our rentals. And then once that one starts going up again, I can let it go, I can let it be, I can play in the field for a little bit. And then I've got to start looking at maybe Stormore Willoughby, because Stormore Willoughby's gone below 80% or 85%. I'm thinking, oh, okay, right, what can we do? What can we tweak? And then once we get that back on track, I can, there you go, off to the park. You could have a little fun time. And I go, right, okay, Clough Road. What can we do on Clough Road? I love it. So I know that I'm going to enjoy my job more and more the more sites we get, because I take the overview. I'm not in a day-to-day running. My area of expertise is looking at the figures, making sure the trajectory is right, making sure we're all heading in the right direction. I'm super excited. Anyway, tomorrow is a really, really good episode. I already pre-recorded it. It's a marketing book that I'm reading, and it is all about the follow-up and how important, crucial, critical the follow-up. And I've got some data, I've got some stats. So Gavin Shields, no. What a wally. The reason I said that is because Gavin doesn't like the follow-up as much as I do, but the more and more I look into it, the more and more I just research, the more and more I feel like that the follow-up is critical and crucial, and I've got some stats from America to back it up. Don't get me wrong, I want to tell you it's from a different industry. I don't actually know what industry it's from, he never actually said, but the data is incredible. And so it's a really, really good episode tomorrow. Even if I do say so to myself. All right, guys, gals, love you, appreciate you, especially you, Gavin Shields. See you later, guys. Bye.